Hello, hello, hello! Oh my gosh, Melissa Dillon here, live on my personal page on Facebook, and then we upload it to my YouTube channel at Melissa May Dillon, which is going to be the easiest place to watch any replays if there's ever a time you want to come back to hit up on this magic that I love to talk about. And if you are on YouTube or Facebook, please drop a comment if you have any questions or if there's anything you want to talk about or any insights that you received, anything that you relate to, or any other topics that you want to talk about. Please let me know. I'd love to hear from you in the comment section. And if you're on the YouTube channel, please click for a subscribe. Absolutely love that. I have another six-figure YouTube channel, and I would love to have this channel be a six-figure YouTube channel. So it is 2025, January 1st, 2025, and we are in a whole new vibe. And I have decided, because for the last 30 days for December to Remember, I went live every single day, and even though there were some days where it was hard and difficult, and I cried, and I was a hot mess, I loved it. I loved every bit of it. I loved who I became through it, and I know that going live is definitely something that I want to do. I feel like my life is a TV show, and I've got to have it out. I've got to be putting it out there. And so I've decided that 2025 is the year that I will go live every single day. I will come on. I will talk about something. I'm going to attempt to do it in the morning because that tends to be a little bit of a better time. Trying to squeeze it in right before bed was a little bit of a hot mess in December, but we work with what we've got, and I made it happen. And so I'm going to make it this year that I will be going live every single day for 2025. So I'm super excited. And I was thinking today about, a lot of people, how I've seen, and in the past, like, New Year's for me used to be like, get drunk, get smashed. Like, it's such a different vibe for me. And every new year was always like fresh start. And you only need a fresh start when you don't like what you've built. And to be quite honest, I am madly in love with the life that I have built. And I'm super excited to just continue to build upon and improve the most amazing life that I have built, with, especially within these past like 3 years. Since 2020, honestly, thank you to the whole pandemic, which just utterly changed my whole life. It set me on a trajectory that really allowed me to, and I just looked at 222. It really allowed me to become who it was that I always wanted to be. It allowed me to show up in a whole new way. It allowed me to uncover and heal wounds that I didn't even know that I had. And it was a massive upheaval starting from 2020. So 5 years later, I'm sitting in the most magical place on earth. I own my own 101 acres, and we're working on making more acres around us. I have a beautiful baby. I have a marriage that we always will strive to continue to improve our relationship and just have an incredible partnership. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful life. I have a six-figure a month business. It's a multi-million-dollar business. It's like an 8-figure business. I have a YouTube channel that now is heading up to, it's earned 6 figures itself, and it's now going to be earning 6 figures a year on the YouTube channel alone. And then, my business makes 100,000 a month at least, and it's gonna be wild, because January, it always goes boom. And so I'm super excited to see what happens in this month of January. When you look at my business, I started my business in January of 2022, and I made $220 that month. How funny, $222. It was $344 when I said that. When I look at that first month, $220 is what I made in January of 2022 when I started my business. And then the next January, it was like 30,000. I think it was like 23,000. And then the next January was like, I don't know, probably 50, 60,000. And then, now I'm excited to see what happens in this January. I know it's just going to blow up, because we actually made a lot of awesome money moves in December to Remember, and that have now come into play. And January is just, I know it's just going to blow up. It's just going to be epic and amazing. And I cannot wait to share, how it looks like, and share the news with you about what amounts of money the business has brought in. Because one of the biggest things I do what I do, and one of the reasons I come on live, is to show you that you can be an utter hot mess who's madly in love with her life, and who can build an epic business, and who can live the life of her dreams. Like, you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. I am not special. I am not amazing. I just don't allow fear to stop me. I move despite the fear. I could be utterly afraid, and I'm like, I'm still going, I'm still doing it. I know it's gonna work. I know it's gonna land awesomely, even if it sucks along the way, even if it's messy along the way, even if it hurts along the way. I know that growth and alignment require pain. It requires, elevating yourself. It requires evolving. It requires going in the warm liquid goo phase. When a caterpillar turns into a butter, it completely liquefies before it becomes a butterfly again. And all human growth, every stage of me building my business, every stage of me becoming a mom, every stage of me becoming a better wife has all required growth and alignment. Like, alignment is like being lined up with exactly what it is that you want. And so many of us are out of alignment. And when you think about a broken bone, a lot of us have been, and I really don't like to use the word broken, but a lot of us have been bent out of alignment for so long, going in the wrong direction, doing something that's against our soul. Like, how many of us are working jobs that we don't enjoy, we hate going to, but we feel like we have to, and we're bent out of alignment for so long in the wrong direction that when we have to put ourselves back in alignment, it's gonna hurt. It's not going to feel the most amazing, incredible thing. It's not going to be like, this is butterflies and roses and sunshine the entire time. There's freaking thorns in the bush. There's shit that has to make the roses grow. Like, there are things we're going to have to go through as humans, and it's this beautiful, messy journey of allowing that to be okay when we see the most epic growth. So when we accept the fact that there are struggles, when we accept the fact that it's going to look messy, when we accept the fact that we are messy humans, when we accept the fact that, the idea that we don't have to be perfect in order to land the money, in order to land the job, in order to land the baby, in order to land whatever it is we want to land, life becomes so much easier. The thing that's in most people's way is the idea that they can't do it because they have to, in order to do it, they have to do it perfect. And that'll never happen. It'll never happen. It'll never look perfect. It'll never look clean. It'll never be easy. It'll always be something, some hurdle, some lesson, some problem, whatever. But that's what makes life beautiful and amazing. If you don't have sadness, you don't have happiness. You can't know what sadness is without, or you can't know what happiness is without sadness. Like Snoop Dogg says, what is the truth without a little lie? Like, if all there was truth, there, like, it wouldn't mean as much. It would just be neutral. It just is what it is, right? Sadness, same thing. Like, or happiness. The level of happiness we feel is in direct proportion to the sadness that we have felt. And if we want to feel more happiness, we want to feel more joy, we want to feel more pleasure, we have to feel the depths of that sadness and the pain on the other side of that. And there's beauty in it. There's beauty in pain. There's beauty in sadness. And the ability to be able to see that is what allows us to move through it so much easier and be able to hold space for it. Because there are going to be things that happen. There are going to be circumstances in life that happen. And so many people are blocking what it is they want to manifest. You're blocking your successful business. You're blocking your relationship. You're blocking whatever it is you want because you think as soon as you get it, your life will be perfect. And you'll never want another thing ever again. And that, it could be the number one reason why you're not getting what it is you want, because you have put it on this pedestal that says, once I have gotten this thing, I will have no other problems. And so it can't come to you because the universe is like, honey, everything you get is going to come with something. There's always going to be a downside to everything that it is that you want. And the sooner you can accept that, the sooner that you can actually call it to you and bring it to you. And in fact, that's actually a manifestation hack that I'm working on developing and showing people how this works. When you can see the downside to every upside that it is you're looking for. Because when we're trying to manifest something, so let's say, I talked about December to Remember, manifesting $1 million in 1 month. There's going to be a downside to everything that we want. So when when we look at, so we say $1 million in 1 month, it's going to solve all my problems. I'll be able to pay off my debt. I'll be able to do all these things. It's going to take care of everything for me. Oh my God, if I could just make $1 million in 1 month, everything would be okay. And we make it be this thing that we think could take care of everything. And we see no problem with it. And so we separate ourselves from it because everything is going to come with something. Because $1 million in 1 month is going to come with taxes. It's going to come with people asking us for money. It's going to come with, having to spend it because as soon as you come in, you're going to have to spend it. You're going to have to pay for something. It comes with, the idea of, well, I did it once. Can I make $1 million in a month again? There's always going to be something on the other side of it. So when in actuality, when you can see that the thing that you're manifesting actually comes with a downside, you actually take it off the pedestal. When we think that it's this shiny, amazing thing that's going to solve every single problem, we put it up on this pedestal and we keep it away from us. Anything on a pedestal you cannot manifest. Because if it's on a pedestal, it's above you. It's far from you. And it feels impossible to achieve. So if we want to manifest something, we have to take it off the pedestal. We have to normalize it. We have to simplify it. We have to make it easy and attainable for us. And one of the easiest ways to make it easy and attainable is to look at the downside of it, because then you immediately drop your, okay, well, that's going to solve every problem, when you realize it itself will come with problems. But the thing with problems as human is we are designed to solve them, and it actually gives us life. It gives us joy when we're able to look at a problem and be able to solve it and be able to, do something with it. So we've got to take the thing that we're manifesting, see the negative side of it, see the downside of it, see the problems that may come with it, which will help us to normalize it, which will help us to remove it off the pedestal, which will allow us to magnetize to it. So like one of the ideas I was thinking about was like, we talk about, like, let's say, celebration is the symphony of manifesting. When I celebrate something, it brings more in. It's like gratitude. It feels amazing. It's in your body. But one of the things you can do is when you think about the thing that you want. So let's say you want $1 million in 1 month, which is something that I'm going after. And I in my mind's eye, because again, the universe cannot give you anything that you haven't given yourself. And at the end of the day, it's not actually the $1 million. It's what you think you're going to feel when you get $1 million in 1 month. Right? So behind every single manifestation, it's not actually the thing. It's the way you're going to feel when you get that thing. So if you can feel the feelings of it now by celebrating, so I like celebrated my body. I imagine my friends giving me a hug. I imagine people cheering me on the internet. Oh my God, we knew, Melissa, you were going to do it. I watched every December Remember with you. Right? I have the feelings of, $1 million in 1 month. I feel it in my body. Right? And that helps 100% to be able to manifest the thing. Because if you can feel it in your body, because ultimately everything you manifest is a feeling. You actually cast out a feeling, and then you reel it in by continuing to feel that way. And you call it to you, and it's like, it's normal. I know I've hooked it. I know I've got it. I know it's mine. I know it's coming. So I've normalized it. But then we're blocked by thinking that is going to solve every problem. So one of the things that I'm working on and feeling is, okay, what's going to happen after the celebration? After the celebration, what's the after party? The after party is, I just made $1 million in 1 month. Can I do it again? Now I'm going to have to pay taxes. Now I've got these people asking me for money. Now people think that I, can do this or do that or whatever it is with $1 million in 1 month. Well, now I got a big bill that I got to pay. Like, think about the things that'll come after the thing. Think about not just the positive things, but the downside of things. And it will actually, like, it's not, and the goal is not here to like, now I don't want it because I see the bad side of it. The goal is to actually see that everything that I want to manifest is not this shiny, amazing object that will solve all of my problems. Because the more you think that, the further away you put it out there. And most of us attempt to manifest generally money so that we can get what we want. And that's a whole other thing to talk about. How we really, I wrote it down. I have the most amazing note on it. I wrote this down the other day. Or actually I wrote this down a while ago, but I just saw it the other day. Everything we desire is actually a state of feeling. We think that things or situations will give us those feelings. We end up chasing the thing or situation instead of focusing on the feeling. Because at the end of the day, the universe cannot give you anything you haven't given yourself. You must give yourself the feelings that you're wanting via the thing. Okay, so if I think $1 million is going to give me peace and security, I need to feel the peace and security now. Okay? We further complicate this by thinking we need money to get the thing. So then we focus on money to get the thing and forget about the feeling. So rather than, many of us will say, well, I really want, a house in the woods with your own pond and 1 million trees, which is what I have. but then instead of thinking about that, I think about the money I have to make in order to make that happen. And then now I'm focused on the money. And now have I not thought about the thing that I want, and now I'm not thinking the feelings that it's going to give me. I'm all about trying to figure out how to get the money to get it. And that's where we end up being in a problem. So if we've and this is a big thing that we struggle with. If I get $1 million in 1 month, I will feel happy and secure. We have to flip the script. We have to say, I will feel happy and secure, then I will get $1 million in 1 month. And that's something too, is Melanie Ann Layer talks about that, is money does not provide security. Money is attracted to security. Money wants to show up to a person who already feels secure. Most of us believe that money will give us security. And I am here to tell you, making 6 figures a month has not changed my security level. I still feel like, I need more money. It does not change. It doesn't change. So you can sit here and say, I need to just make a couple grand a month. All my problems will be okay. Nope. No, they won't. And the more you think that, the further away you're pushing that extra money that you want to be making a month. So you have to feel secure first before the money can show up. If you think the money is going to make you secure, if you think the money is going to solve your problems, you are pushing it away from you. You are saying, nope, sorry, not available for you yet. Money wants you to already feel secure. Money wants you to already feel safe, and then it will march in showing she's ready to throw a party with me. She's not here to make herself feel better. She wants me here so that she can have a fun time with me. Money wants to hang out with a person who wants to have a good time with it. Money does not want to hang out with the person who's like, oh my God, where have you been? You haven't shown up when I needed you, and now as soon as you're here, I've got to send you away to go take care of everything. Like, God, I barely got any time with you. That's how most people function when it comes to money. That's how I've functioned when it comes to money. I know that because I've done that. And I am shifting myself to a different identity that says, money, oh my gosh, I love that you're here. I'm excited. Let's have a party. I'm so happy. Let's have a good time. Can't wait for you to come back. You know, like, we have to have a completely different shift about money. But it's the feelings. It's the feelings on the other side. So when I say I want to manifest this or that or this or that, why? Because if I get it, I will feel. Start feeling that now. The feeling is what calls it to you. If you can feel the feelings now, it shows up a lot faster. And if you can remove it off the pedestal, it shows up a lot faster. Let me see what else I wrote. Let me see if it was good. I know it is, but often the thing we think we need isn't at all what we want, but came from limited perception of what we think we need. Oh yeah, but comes from a limited perception of what we think we need to get that feeling. Yeah, so often the thing we think we need isn't at what we actually want. So a lot of the times you say, I want to manifest this because because then I will feel this way. But it also is a limited perception. Like, for instance, there was a time in my life where, you know, I wanted, and I just talked about this the other day with Ashley on the phone. I talked about, there was a time in my life where I had a lease on a condo in Las Vegas, and I couldn't break the lease. I didn't have the money to break the lease. And I also had a bunch of stuff, and I wasn't available to be able to buy a mortgage anywhere else. And I really wanted to live in the green. I wanted to have the woods. I wanted to have the water. I wanted to have the trees. I wanted all the things I have now. But the only way that my mind could perceive it to be possible for me at that point in my life was to go camping, was to live in a van. I was like, well, I can keep my stuff in the condo, and then I'll just go a van and I'll travel around the country. And that will be the way that I could be in the green and be in the water and be in the countryside. That's how I'm going to do it. And so I was like, I'm manifesting a van. I'm going to manifest a van. I'm going to have a van. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be van life. I'm going to be driving around the country, hanging out in all the different places that I can go camping and all the things. I didn't actually want van life. I wanted to live in the green. I wanted to be in nature. I wanted to be near the water. I wanted to be near beaches. That's what I actually wanted. But my mind perceived that the only way that was going to be possible in my current realm of reality was a van. So then I started trying to manifest a van instead of manifesting living in the green and living in the nature and all the things. Now I ended up landing upon that because I worked on myself and developed myself, and the universe will thankfully give you what it is you actually want instead of what you think you want, if you can get into an alignment with it. But that's what I mean by sometimes we go after our minds are very limited. Our minds only know what it's experienced. We are available to receive knowledge, by the way. Like, we can definitely receive divine insight. We can definitely receive downloads from the universe. We can definitely just receive a knowing in our mind, claircognizant, which is my skill that I'm developing. Like, we can certainly receive outside knowledge and outside information. But when we focus on our mind's ability to think, it is limited based on what we know is available to us. Do you not understand that there are things in the world available beyond your knowings? Beyond what you think is available to you? And so if you try to say, I want to manifest this so that I can have this, so that this can happen, we whittle down what we truly want based on our limited perception of what we think is available to us. Exactly when I tried to manifest a van life, I didn't really want van life. I wanted life in nature. I wanted life in the trees and in the pond, in the beaches, and that's what I really wanted. And so luckily I was able to get to a situation where now I do own a nice, beautiful house, 101 acres, and I have the trees, and I have the pond, and I have the leaves, and I'm 10 minutes from a beach, from the drive of the beach. Like, I can even hike to the lake if I wanted. Like, that's how magical this place is. But it was not, but when I focused on van life, so even though I had said van life is what I wanted, I still knew that it was the feelings that I was going after. And so I would visualize, if I had van life, because that was my limited perception of what was available to me, how would I feel? And I envisioned myself being in the trees. I envisioned myself walking along the beach. I envisioned myself hiking through the woods. I envisioned myself, being able to go to different places within nature. And so I did focus on the feelings and not so much the actual van itself. But this is what I mean by we can be limited in our perception of what we think is available to us because we just don't know better. Like, I didn't, how logically could I have been like, you know what, I'm going to start a YouTube channel, and then there's going to be a guy who lives in the country who's going to watch my channel, and then he's going to fall in love with me, and then we're going to get married, and then we will buy a house. There is no logical way that I could have created the situation that I'm in. Like, my brain, like, no one would think that. No one would be like, I will meet a countryman on my channel who happens to be studying for the insurance exam, and he will fall in love with me, and then we will get married. No. No one would structure that timeline as a logical sequence to receiving the manifestation of what I wanted of living in the country. Like, people say, like, how, you're not even talking about country stuff. Like, that kind of guy is going to be watching a channel about deer hunting, not insurance exam stuff. Like, there's no, like, it doesn't make sense if I were to attempt to have, if I go backward and try to have planned this, it would be impossible. But what I did do was I focused on what I would feel if I was living in the country, if I was living in the green, if I was living in the trees, if I was living in seclusion. What would that feel like? And I would feel it in my body. Because again, the thing you're trying to manifest is not actually the thing you want. You want the feelings on the other side of that. Now, you may actually want the thing. Like, there are definitely things that I want. Like, I wanted a van, and I want certain things. But at the same, but again, it's more about the feelings. What's going to draw it to you is the feelings of having that thing more than it is having the thing itself. So, anyway, sorry, I'm so excited. My daughter's calling me. But I'm on live, so I'm going to drop it right now. So, flip the script. If I get blank, I will feel this. You got to flip that around. If I feel blank, I will get this. So when it comes to me manifesting my $1 million in 1 month, I'm like, what is on the other side of $1 million in 1 month? It's the feeling of, financial freedom, being able to make choices, being able to do things. She's calling me again. Being able to do things. And then think of the bad things that can come with that so that I take it off the pedestal. And once I take it off the pedestal, I begin feeling the feelings of it. I'm no longer holding it up there, and it's going to be a lot easier for me to call it in and receive it and have it. So that is your, maybe I'll keep these to around like 30 minutes, because I know I can go on for hours and hours. So this was your little love, your 365 days of live for 2025. This was a lesson on calling in your manifestations by thinking about how it's going to feel, not being focused on the exact manifestation itself, but how you're going to feel on the other side of that. And don't I feel the good feelings. Like when I say feel the feelings of having it, I do mean the good feelings, but we remove it off the pedestal by realizing it's not going to solve every problem. The thing you're trying to manifest will not solve every single problem. Your life will not be perfect. It won't. The more you think that, the further away that thing you want to manifest is going to be. Because there will always be something. There will always be something you got to clean up. Always something you got to deal with. Always something on the other side. Always a tax bill you got to pay. Like, there's always going to be something. So on the other side of what it is you're manifesting, if you think it's going to make everything perfect, you're going to repel it. That's like a manifestation repellent, is making that thing be the thing that solves every single problem you have. The sooner you realize it's not going to solve every problem, the faster it's going to get to you. And the way that you amplify it getting to you is feeling the feelings of having it now. If you think money is going to give you security, you're not going to get money. But if you feel secure, the money will come marching in. Okay? I love you all. 2025, the year I go live. Have an amazing day. And I will see you here again tomorrow on my page. And again, if you're on the YouTube channel, please make sure to subscribe. If you're on the Facebook and you want to watch this again, go check it out on the YouTube channel. That'll be the easiest place to watch the replays. It's at Melissa May Dillon. And no matter where you are, drop a comment if you have any questions or if there's anything you want to talk about or any topics that you want me to cover. And I'm so excited. I love you all. Have an amazing day. Happy New Year.